Yeah, Bridging the Gap, Nyomi Banks, the goddess. Tune in. Hey yo, Black, where we at? Elements. Got a problem? What's the issue? Ask Nyomi for advice, she will bless you. Is it sex, love, or relationships? If your spirits are down, you can get a daily uplift. Just listen every word that she speaks. Setting trends with hashtags for every day of the week. Hashtag motivational Mondays, testimonial Tuesdays. I've been listening for the last 2 days. Wet Willie or Wisdom Wednesdays. Either way, the conversation gon' be lengthy. It's not hearsay. This is her way. You know she'll keep you thirst trapping on a Thursday. 4 days down, I'll talk about the number 5 day. Never coy, she always keeps it freaky on Fridays. Spiritual on Saturdays with sessions in the morning. Still uplifting and inspiring you all in. Being the goddess that she is, she keeps you all in. Formed on soul searching Sundays, just call in. If you misinformed, come get the facts. Fortunate for you, she's looking to bridge the gap. Yes, she was a porn star, but she's more than that. She's a certified specialist teaching us how to act. By the end of the show, we'll agree to disagree, but be good to each other and ourselves and keep it sexy. Yeah. Tune in every week to Ask Nyomi. Bridging the Gap with Nyomi Banks and Dog Pound Mike. Don't miss it. Tune in.
All right. It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. And I guess I want to say, welcome me back. It's been a while. I took a little break. But if you guys are new here and you guys don't know what Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap is, this is a podcast where we talk about love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more while bridging the gap between them all and teaching the world on sex, love, language, attitude, and spiritual uplifting. So some days we talk about sexuality and sex and things of that sort. And then sometimes we talk about spirituality, growing, healing, all of those good things, right?
Yep.
All right, first I want to say shout out to my boys, the Elements, for they always bringing me some very, very nice music, nice theme song. And how can I not say what's up, Dog Pound Mike? What's going on?
What's up, Naomi?
How's it going?
It's all good.
It's been a minute. We had a nice little break there.
Little vacation, Here to go get my tan on.
Right, exactly. Now, I had to do a nice little reset. I had to do a reset. I had to ground myself. There was a lot of energy that went through here in the month of March. We had some phenomenal guests that came in that shared their stories, their journeys. It was amazing. It truly was amazing. I want to say hey to all of my BTG crew out there. I see all of y'all out there. Hey, I miss y'all so much. All right, so tonight's topic we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about, and I hope that you guys will be able to join in with me on this conversation. So you guys know for the past 10 years, I have definitely been going through a spiritual journey. And within the past few years, it has been very, very intense. Very, very intense. But in that intenseness has been an amazing experience. It truly has been an amazing experience. And so that is one reason why I created Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, to not only share my experience in this spiritual journey, but as well as to, for us to inspire and encourage one another, as well as you guys do the same with me. And we kind of bridge the gap on these stereotypical types of things, of people lifestyles or how they might view things, right?
Right.
All right. So today's topic is surrendering. Surrendering, the experiment of surrendering, and how to allow your life to live in peace, how to allow life to take over and live your life in peace. So what I'm going to do, we're going to take a break and I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you how I came up with that topic, because that is something that I'm truly experimenting right now, that I'm truly living. And it's a day-to-day thing right now. I take it day by day, step by step, inch by inch. I ain't gonna say mile by mile, I'm gonna say inch by inch with this experiment of just allowing life to lead me to where it truly wants and how it wants me to be. So we will be back. We're going to take a break. This is your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, here on Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap podcast.
It's actually great
Mm-hmm.
because, towards the end, I was like, man, I really just want my body to myself,
Mm-hmm.
because I felt like my body belonged to Noel, to Marcus, to Julius, So it's like I felt like I wanted my body to myself for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty great,
It's Nyomi Bridging the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationship, cultural differences.
Hey, my sexy people, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks. And I finally did it. I've written my first book. Well, actually, it's a living journal. It's called Good Morning, My Sexy People, where I share my stories in different posts, but help a healing workbook for you. So it's 90 days to kick off your healing living journey. Pre-purchase now. Go to asknyomi.com and hit shop. Listen.
All right, welcome back. It's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. I'm here with my boy, my co-host, Dog Pound Mike. Mike, what's going on?
What's happening? What's happening?
As well as my BTG crew. I see y'all out there. Hey. All right, so you guys, you saw that clip with about the book, right? It's still out there right now. It's on Amazon right now, so you guys can go pick it up at Amazon. If you guys need a healing, it's actually to help you kick it off. It's really yourself, really helping in healing yourself, and more what I call is self-discovery. So that's what it basically is. It's a self-discovery book that I have right here. Boom, boom, boom. You go grab it, pick it up. It's at Amazon, and pick that up. Right?
Yep.
All right, so before the break, I was telling you about the topic that we're going to talk about today. And this is something that I am literally going through at this moment right now. So when I took that 3-week break off, that is something that I came to an agreement or a commitment to myself, was to release some things. And one of the things to release for me was the release of control. I was finding out that for many, many years that I had really, really bad anxiety attacks, like literally bad anxiety attacks, where they were really, I guess what they would like disable me. And what I mean disable me, where I would not be able to get out of bed sometimes, or actually I can be doing something like for instance, like when I a few years ago, when I decided to bring out my lingerie line. Now, mind you, remember, guys, I have been in the adult industry for over 10 years, longer than that. So mostly that's the only thing that people had knew me by. So my thing is, I was very insecure about coming out with something that I knew that was dear to my heart. That's one of my first loves. I have several first loves, and designing was one of my first loves. I always wanted to be a fashion designer. So when I went through that process of creating that line and doing it, I had quite a few anxiety attacks. And I mean, where I can be up sewing up, and before you know it, I'll be passed out on the floor.
Mm.
And it's like I can hear things around me. But I couldn't see, and I couldn't walk, or I couldn't talk, or anything like that. And this probably will last for like a good 2 to 3, minutes like that. The thing is that I've always had those anxiety attacks when I'm on my verge of doing something big or something different. And this started off probably like in my early 20s.
Wow.
Yeah, in my early 20s, this started off. Yeah, in my early 20s, it started off. So, I had these really bad migraines as well. And so I used to go to the doctor, get medication for that. That used to zoink me off completely. And I was like, what is going on with me? I had CAT scans and all that other stuff. I did not want to be on medication anymore for the headaches. They wasn't giving me any medication or any anxiety, because they never diagnosed with me with any anxiety disorder. So I was never diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. I just knew in that process that I was having an anxiety attack. Like it's even when, when you have these attacks, sometimes you think you're having a heart attack.
Mm.
And so I used to go to the hospital and it was like, there is nothing wrong with you.
Wow.
Like literally nothing wrong with you. And that's how anxiety is. It's like you have this subconscious in your mind because, with the mask on, you all good, but subconsciously in your mind, there's things that you're thinking about. You know what I'm saying? And that's stressing you the hell out. Things that, guess what? That you cannot control. But you steady trying to control it.
Mm.
But you steady trying to control it. And that has been my problem, is steady trying to control it. So about a few weeks ago, probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I was sitting with a very dear friend, a soul sister of mine. We were sitting in a session. And actually, it's through her session that I actually learned that I probably need to take a listen or take a look at something. And I remember her telling me, you know what? She said, I got this book called The Surrender Experience by Michael A. Singer. I said, huh, really? And that surrender was very loud and clear to me because earlier that day I had received a message that it was time for me to make a choice and surrender to the universe, surrender and allow them to lead me. All right, so let me go back just a little bit. So I was like, okay. So during this weekend, I said, let me go grab this book on Audible. And what I do is now I listen to books when I'm working out, when I'm walking in the park, when I'm writing, whatever I'm doing around in the house, I'm listening to the book because I really don't have time to sit down and read anymore. So I kind of listen down to do it. So I sat and read this book. This book is 7.5 hours long. By Michael A. Singer. It's called The Surrender Experiment. And let me tell you, when I read this book, it was like an aha moment for me.
Mm.
Because in the very beginning of the book, he says that there are voices in your head that are so loud. Your thoughts are so loud. And I was like, oh my God, yes. It's like, even when, I don't know if anybody ever tried to meditate, when you first beginning to meditate the meditation and you're sitting there, right? And you trying to meditate. You really trying to meditate, but then you have all of these different noises and words and things in your head and trying to get you off what you're trying to do. Because remember, you're trying to get to the peace. You're trying to get at a peace level so you can be able to, you know what I'm saying? So you can get up that day. You start your day off that morning with that meditation. You okay, let me go ahead and meditate. Let me, put my intentions out there. Let me put my affirmations out there. Let me do all of those things. So let me sit for a moment to calm my whole spirit, my thing. And your head, your brain is just going like this, just that loud, just so loud. And it's like, how can I quiet that noise?
Mm.
How can I quiet that noise? And when I heard that I was like, oh my God. Like, this is what usually goes on in my head. Like, literally, I hear Mike say all the time, he was like, boy, I don't know if I want to go in your head because you got so much stuff going on. Literally. So let me tell you what literally has been going in my head for the past few years. It's like I was on a rush. I got to hurry up and get this done. Hurry up and do this. Hurry up and do this. Before what? There was never before what, but I felt that I needed to hurry up and do this before something ends. Or before I go, or before I leave. And so I was always on a rushing type of thing, trying to control the situations that I really did not have any control over. Mm-hmm. At all. So then when he was talking about that, is that the noises in his head or whatever, he said at that moment in time, he said he knew that it was time for him to kind of pull back and try to go to a quiet place. So he actually had bought him like 10 acres of land. And this 10 acres of land gonna make sense at the end of all of this. At the 10 acres of land, he went and bought him built him a little hut and was really meditating all the time. He was not a very religious type of person. Nothing like that. So he was figuring out, how can I truly find out what is my purpose in life? And I think that's something that we all look for is, what is our purpose in life? Why are we here? Like, why were we born? You know, what is our meaning? You know what I mean? And we all search for that. You know what I'm saying? And I know, especially right now, I don't know exactly what's going on, if this is a spiritual warfare or whatever, but especially right now, people are truly trying to find out, what are your reasonings of being on this earth? What is that reasoning of me being in someone's life, or they in my life? You know what I mean? And so from that, it was like, okay, my thing is this, is that I'm always trying to find the answer. That was one thing. Another thing, I'm always trying to find the answer to something. To something. To something. Let me tell you how bad it was. I remember I was younger, and I used to mess around with my grandfather, and he used to, girl, you crazy. I used to say, you know, Papa, how you know that's a chair? Like, who said that was a chair? And he looked at me, because that's what they said, it was a chair. And I said, well, who said it was a chair? And he looked at me like, girl, I'm not about to sit here and play with you about what. I said, because I don't think that's a chair. We're going to call that a dog. And he was like, that is not a dog. Don't you say that no more. Because I wanted to know who said that this was a chair. And I know y'all like, Nyomj, you is crazy as hell. But I'm telling you, think about it. Like, I'm sitting on this couch right now. No, I'm just playing.
You better stay your ass on that couch.
I'm just messing. But this is I'm telling you what goes on in our minds. I'm serious, what goes on in our minds, and we're trying to control every little thing. We got to have answers for every little thing. Every little thing. Every little thing. So I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm listening. I was like, I'm listening. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen to what you got to say, Mr. Michael A. Singer. Tell me, what is this surrendering experiment? And matter of fact, how is it? Like, what is surrendering? Like, what is truly surrendering? And that was the biggest question. I probably listened for like a good hour and a half. And I said, well, what is surrendering? What does surrender look like? Do you know what surrendering look like, Mike?
No. Mm-mm.
You know, you asked, so
guess the movies.
Right, exactly. So guess what I did? I started back over again, because I thought maybe it was something that I missed on what surrendering was. You know what I mean? So I had to go back from the beginning and say, did I miss something? Did I miss something? Because I need to know what surrendering look like, so I can recognize and understand that I am doing something, I guess, correctly, or I am going down the right path of it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. Yeah.
All right, so this is what he says, and I'm gonna tell you what he said first. He said, surrendering is the practicing of acceptance. The practicing, of acceptance. So this is a quote that he says from him. He said, if life unfolds in a certain way, and the only reason I was resisting was because of my personal preference, I would let go of my preference and let life take control. Y'all want me to read that again?
Yeah, please do.
You want me to read that again, my Mike? Yep. All right. It's the practicing of acceptance. He said, if life unfolds in a certain way, and the only reason I was resisting was because of a personal preference, I will let go of my preference and let life take control. So if there was something that was happening for you, and the only reason why you are not allowing it to happen be because it is not a part of your preference. Because that's something that you don't like, or something that you don't do. Mind you, you might not never tried it or whatever, but it's because that.
So
I'm about to give y'all an example. For instance, let's take, and it's so simple when he broke it down. It's like the weather. And when y'all be like, girl, it's like the weather. The weather, one day is sunny, the next day is raining, right? Right? So on that rainy day, Why do we complain and what we ain't gonna do or whatever on that rainy day when we can't control it at all? We have no control over the weather, do we?
Not at all.
But we steady complain and talk about the negativity in that, don't we? Don't we? So instead of taking that rainy day and say thank you for that rainy day, because guess what? That rain is getting ready to grow some of that crop out there that feeds us when we have to go to the grocery store and buy it. That rain floods in that water in those lakes and stuff with that water that we get to drink. You understand what I'm saying? That rain helped these flowers and all the rest of these things grow so we can be able to, procreate around here with these animals and all that other stuff. You get what I'm saying? So it's like instead of us saying, okay, let's look at the good or let's look at what's best for that situation, we instantly go to a negative. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We instantly go to a negative. Yeah, did y'all get that? I see Miss Dazelle on there because it's not. Yeah, exactly. All right, so then I was like, okay, and I remember this. I remember calling Dog Pound Mike Myers. And I know he was like, what the hell? Because because it was like an aha moment for me. Because let me tell you why, and I got a couple of examples for you on how there were things that I missed out on because of my preference. Because of my preference. Because what I think I want for myself, or what I think is sometimes I could have been on what I have, lost out on something. But I know y'all gonna say, because I said it too to myself too, is that what's for you is for you. Yeah, you're right, it is. But sometimes you can get there faster if you get out your way.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can get there faster if you get out your way. Don't you know when you feel like sometimes you feel like you're repeating that same cycle over and over again? You're repeating that same cycle over and over again. You're like, why I keep repeating the same cycle over and over again? But your ass keep doing the same thing and looking for a different result. I don't know if we think, I've been guilty of, I don't know if we think, well, look, let me see, maybe if I don't say this, that, maybe if I take this out right here, then it'll be all right. I'm still doing the same thing, but I'm just not doing it as hard, or I'm not doing it as soft as I was before, or I rephrase the word, or maybe coming with a different, whatever, but it's still what?
Same way.
It's still the same way.
But don't you think that people do it that way because that's the way they feel safe of? Is that what that preference is?
Thank you. You just jumped on in there, didn't you?
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
no. But that is a part of preference is that a lot of people, when they have preference, it is a fear of change. It's a fear of difference too. And some people just like things. Like you like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
You will go to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich before you will go to anything else.
Yep.
But what if there was a big nice steak over there? Then maybe that's the wrong example to give you.
No.
But you understand what I'm saying? That's really, really good, and that might fulfill you in some type of way.
Right. I understand.
You know what I mean? But because we so stuck on wanting what we want and not what we need, we miss out on things, or it takes us longer to get there. So look, I'm 50 years old. I know what my purpose is. This right here is part of my purpose. Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. This is part of my purpose. And so is Our Souls Are Not Lost. So is the Papa Lock Foundation. All of those things are a part of my purpose. Even that journey that I went through the adult industry, through the music industry, through all of those industries, being married, divorced, kids, all of that was my path, a part of my journey for my purpose. So all of that was supposed to happen. It was. But there was other things that were supposed to happen at a time where I myself would not release control. I would not surrender and allow life to take its course. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a quick break. and then we're going to come back. And I'm going to tell you how we can start off doing that. It's your girl, D Goddess Nyomi Banks, here on Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. We'll be right back.
For me, I would tell girls that to save money, because I was horrible, to save your money, because you don't know how you're going to feel 10 years from now. You don't know if you still going to be on camera. And then a lot of girls don't think to try to find some other niches or get educated and other things that's not porn related. That way you can use that money that you made from porn and maybe open up a lingerie shop or a dance studio. You know, I just feel we don't have to forever, because a lot of people want us to forever
Never be that.
be Naomi and Kiana. I mean, Marie.
Nyomi Bridging the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationship, culture differences.
Hey, my sexy people, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks. And I finally did it. I've written my first book, well, actually, it's the living journal. It's called Good Morning, My Sexy People, where I share my stories in different posts, but help a healing workbook for you. So it's 90 days to kick off your healing living journey. Pre-purchase now. Go to asknyomi.com and hit shop. Listen.
All right, it's your girl, D Goddess Nyomi Banks, here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about love, sex, relationship, culture differences, and so much more, while teaching the world on sex, language, attitude, and spiritual uplifting. But today, we on the spiritual side of the day. Today, we on the spiritual side of the day, and we're talking about the surrender experiment. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about how I am experiencing now. I'm going through the experiment of surrendering. And if you're just tuning in right now, that is exactly what we're talking about. I think I left off, but I was going to tell you guys how can we do this? How can you begin to practice the art of surrendering?
Okay.
That's what it's called, the practice the art of surrendering. But before I do that, look, I want, could I get some likes? Could I put some likes? Could I like it right fast? Could I like this live video? Look, I don't like begging. Could y'all liking it? Y'all can heart it. Can we get something on these?
We get some hearts and some thumbs up there.
Some hearts, some thumbs, some something. Something. Okay. All right. We're just gonna keep moving. We're gonna keep it moving. All right. So the practice of surrendering, there's two things, and then I do have a top five. I do have a top five after this, and I want to explain something with this. All right. So the practice of surrendering first you have to let go of personal reaction of like and dislike that form inside your mind and heart. So remember when I said before the first break was that of your preference. Remember I spoke of that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of your preference. It's kind of like allowing life to truly kind of take its control over there. So I think I missed something else that I had wanted to say. Hold on. Right, no, I did say it. So I don't want to jump. And that's when I'm trying not to jump. I'm trying not to jump because I want to share this so bad. So I'm going to try not to jump. So let me do this. And then I'm going to give you an example of what happened. I'm going to give y'all an example of what happened. All right. So what I said, number one, is let go of the personal reaction of like and dislike that form inside of your heart. So remember those loud noises that's in our head? Mm-hmm. That when you get an offer, somebody tell you or something happens and you kind of go with, no, I don't, and people might say, well, that's my senses that's just working. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes that's a sense of fear. Sometimes that's a sense of change that you don't want to do. So it's like, well, how do we know? That's where you have to trust your judgment. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but it did to me. All right, number 2. Now listen to this one. Now the thing is with the results of the sense of clarity that you simply look and see what is being asked of you by that situation unfolding in front of you. So listen to me. So when it's a situation that's happening, there's a situation that's happening right now that's unfolding in front of you, right? All right. So you wondering like, why is this thing happening? You know, instead of making a reaction right quick, ask, okay, so why is this happening? What would I learn from this? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what can I learn from this at this moment, or why this is happening to me, for me? And at times I say, and with me, because it's a present moment that is happening. You about to say something?
Yeah, you know, because I'm trying to take in that present moment, you know, because sometimes it's like things can happen
Mm-hmm.
and your instinct kick in where like, oh, that's too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Or that can't be real, or this never
Mm-hmm.
happens to me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, type situation,
Mm-hmm.
instead of seeing what the moment is.
Yes,
Okay.
Exactly.
I get you.
Exactly. And you know, and that's because that's something that we've been taught. If it's too good to be true, then it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they literally tell you that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they literally that is the saying. If it's too good to be true, then it is. It ain't true. That's fake, phony, fake. That's fake news. And you be like, so it's like you don't trust anything. So you could bypass a whole bunch of stuff that could have been, you know, for you. Then you find yourself coming back to that over and over again, and you keep wondering, like, okay, why does it keep coming up? Then that goes to where you feel that you are no longer, you're not worthy of it.
Wow. That's deep. Now you got me thinking about all those things on the internet I've seen that.
See, now you about to be funny.
No, but I guess, but you have to take things in at a simple pace, then,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes. So okay. So let me tell you of an example that I have,
Mm-hmm.
and I got 2 great examples. All right, a few years ago, I was offered for a nice big company to come in and to produce a podcast show for me. Okay. And we went back and forth. And I'm gonna be real. The problem was is that the money situation, the numbers wasn't looking right for me because I didn't see the bigger picture, but also because I had a sense of control. I needed to have control, and partly of a fear of someone taking something from me. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. A lot of sense. Yeah.
You know, so me being in the entertainment industry for so long in so many different genres of the entertainment industry, I've been screwed over in so many different things that now, you know, when something good is coming to me, for me,
Can't see it.
I can't see it because things been so jaded by that.
That's past experience, though. I mean, that's what we talk. Live by your past. If you got screwed over on a deal before, and this one kind of feels the same, you tend to go with your past experience.
Right. Well, thank you, Miss Dizelle Lifestyle, for that nice little $10 tip. We take that dollar. Yes, we take that $10. Thank you so much. But you guys understand what I'm saying? So the thing is that, so this is the thing, and I'm gonna be very honest. They were building a team. They wanted to build a team around me to really, you know, put the podcast out there, just, you know, really good with great numbers and everything like that. Well, I didn't really have to do anything too much, but just really sit, look pretty, talk, just be the hostess with the mostest with that. That was an opportunity that I let go because I would not allow life to take its course. So this is the thing. If it did come out bad, what did I learn from? You know what I'm saying? What would have happened for me? You understand what I'm saying? I didn't allow to take that chance. I didn't surrender and allow that to happen. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a whole lot of sense. Yes, it does.
And this is the thing. This was So, and then it was some second. It happened like probably like a few weeks later. A few weeks later, I was called from one of my dear friends that's in the industry, and he told me that there were this this TV show, a comedy sketch show, TV show that wanted to do an interview, and he said, and I told them, y'all need to interview Nyomi Banks. And he said, Nyomi, they want to interview you. They want to talk to you about, COVID, how you handle it with such and 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 such. And y'all know what I said? My dumb ass said no. And you know why I said no? One is because I didn't feel that I was ready. I didn't feel like I was ready to talk on behalf of the industry and myself. Then it was more if that was coming from the unworthiness that I was feeling about myself, of the doubt. Instead of me allowing that situation to just happen and I be there in that moment and experience it and get that experience, whether it was good or bad, because it wasn't a bad situation, but automatically that loud noise in my head told me, girl, you're going to look stupid. They're going to clown you. They're going to, So I like literally talked myself out of it instead of letting go. Instead of being in that moment, surrendering. Then I found myself 2 years later busting my ass trying to build this podcast.
Right.
On my own with just 2 or 3 of us. You know what I'm saying? Where I was offered a whole team of people that would do everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
So in that instance, I got in my way. And when I'm telling you, when I was listening to this book, and again, the book is The Surrender Experience by Michael A. Singer. It's an amazing book. It's an amazing book. I will read it again. I heard he has another book called The Untethered. I'm going to read that one as well. I'm going to read that one somewhere down the line because right now I'm reading The Healing of the Black Madonnas. And then I got the 4 something after that. And then, I got a lineup of books that's lined up, but I'm going to get to that Untethered. But I'll probably go back and get and listen to The Surrender Experiment again because it truly is a day-to-day process. It's a day-to-day process. And I'm so glad that I was able to sit down for 3 weeks and not be on this platform and speaking and talking. I wasn't even on social media, really, and just so I can really get into it as well as getting into myself. Because the thing is, I understand what my purpose is and I see it. I see it and I see it and I need to be able to prepare and ground myself so much. Really, when I say that I feel people energy, I feel y'all energy through here, through this little camera, I feel it. Y'all energy, and it drains me the hell out of me. So times I have to figure out ways to ground myself. I went and built me a whole, in the middle of Las Vegas, I built me a rose garden, a healing garden in my backyard. I went and bought some sod. Put a little area. Now, let me tell you something. How I set up my oasis really is not no room for no garden nowhere. And I know I got some folks that have been to my house before. They were like, girl, how you do that? Because they know how prissy I am about my stuff. I said, no, it got to look very queendom, goddessy like. But that is what I was doing to make sure that I'm able to go somewhere and get grounded. Because when I do go to the park and I go hug, yes, I hug the trees. I put my palms on the trees. I hug them. I do all of that. But in the process of walking around, I'm still feeling people energy and I'm still talking to people. And that's exchange of energy. And that's a whole nother different topic there that we are going to get on down the line somewhere. But that's a whole total different thing because we all are of energy. Every single one of us. So when you walk in that room and you feel something, you're like, ooh, That's those energies that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
It is. But then this is where we got to learn how can we protect our energy from others and still be able to serve one another. But my biggest thing right here is the battling right here. It's the battling and the quieting of the loud noises that are in my head. Or me having to have control of things. So let me tell you what I did. For the past year and a half, almost 2 years, I've been on the fence at this crossroads if I was going to keep my OnlyFans and all of the rest of my adult stuff that was making me money while I sleep. Was I going to keep those or was I going to let those go? And even though I'm a very sexual person, but I'm a very spiritual person. But I found myself no longer enjoying those platforms as I used to. And what I found out is that I am no longer aligned with that. Not meaning that it was a bad thing. That just wasn't my place and space anymore. I couldn't find any purpose in me doing that anymore. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm going to try to make it make sense to you all. When I got into the adult industry, I got in it for a reason, and my reason was to help financially. My father was very ill. Very, very ill, that he had to have 24-hour care at one time. And my mom wanted me to come back home to help out, get a job or whatever. What I did was I went on a job. I didn't jump head in, but we just gonna cut it. I went on into the adult industry because it was a multi-billion-dollar industry. And I figure if I can get a couple of these millions where I can be able to help my family and still do what I was gonna do, then that's what I did. Not knowing that all of this was gonna transpire for me. You understand what I'm saying? Mm. So at that time, that was a part of my purpose. Then while in there, I was able to meet some phenomenal people. I really was. Some phenomenal people that I was able to make within this industry. But not only that, I saw how the outside world was treating that world, our world. And I didn't like that. So then I was like, no, let's change the narrative on how they see us. So then that became a part of my purpose. That's why I stayed in for so long. And the money was good. But that's also why I stayed with the OnlyFans. I'm talking about the OnlyFans. Sometimes it was $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month sometimes. $15,000, $10,000. And I finally said, I'm walking away from it. And I walked away. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna say I'm gonna go back, but I know if I do go back, I'm gonna go back with a purpose. It's gonna mean something to me. It's like I wasn't doing any hardcore stuff. I was still doing my pro dom, and I was doing some very sexy things, but I was trying to make it to where it was more sensual. Where it was pleasing to them, but they were getting something out of it more than just a cum. Y'all know what I mean? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then I knew what my other purpose was speaking to them in a positive way, to uplift them, to do all those things. And I didn't even lie. I felt so dirty when I know that we just started talking. We was talking about something serious, and you over here doing whatever. So you're no longer looking. You're looking at me perverted way, and I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Real. And let me say this, and I want to make sure that I say this true and bond. I am not looking down on y'all. No, I'm not. I'm a freak. But what I'm saying is that wasn't no longer a part of my purpose. At least I couldn't find a way to do it at this moment. Does that make sense, y'all? A lot of sense. Yeah. Does that make sense? And so instead of me stressing about how was I going to do all of this and do this and because I wasn't stopping this, because I see the bigger picture for this, for Ask Nyomi. I wasn't stopping this. So I knew I had to stop OnlyFans. I knew I had to stop I Want Clips. I knew I had to stop Sex Panther. I knew I had, even though that money was good, I knew I had to stop all that. And then for the past 6 months, I wasn't really doing it anyway. After my birthday, my 50th, I stopped. Like, it's like I just was, it was dry. Anybody that's on here for my OnlyFans, they like, yep, that bitch was gone. She came in, like, drop in like once every month and be like, hey, I got a live show, and be gone. Because even in my mind, I was trying to think of different, stories or something that was sexy and sensual. Because I had couples on there. I had from every different genre that can possibly be niche that was on. They were on there from my femdom people, my butt people, I had them all on there. But I was trying to find a way that was beneficial for me, that I felt some, way as well, and I couldn't. When it was no longer fun for me, I could no longer do it because it was no longer aligned with me.
Makes a lot of sense. Can relate to that, yeah.
Yeah, it was no longer, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, damn. I took the money thing out. That's what you do when you really supposed to be doing or really want to do. Let's take the money out. Now, would you still do it?
Mm-hmm. Because as you said, that money thing is one of our biggest preferences, right?
Yes.
That's for probably everybody.
Yes. So it's like, my next thing, if I was to ever go back to that, my thing now will be, and I am so serious when I said it, my now thing is like, how can I serve them? What can be a service? What will be my purpose to come back for? And I'm not saying that I won't have one. I just haven't found it for it to make sense for me now. I was like, no, I got to give it all over here. Oh, we're going to talk about some sex over here. And we're going to talk about some spirituality over here. But over there, it just didn't feel right.
That purpose wasn't the same, right?
No. Mm-mm. And this is so funny because I had one of my this is one of my loyals. I love him dearly. He's been collared with me. He's been my slave for, yes, I did say slave. He's been my slave for many, many years now. And I remember he wrote this little idea for me, and I was like, actually, I believe that's what really was like, oh hell no, because it within that it was a great story, but it was so messed up to me mentally. It was not there, and I was like, okay, that just helped me get on off of there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That helped me get on off of there, because right now and then, this person is listening and following me, and this is not what I was talking about. And now I'm confusing people.
I see that. I see that.
So I cannot no longer confuse people. Now, let me tell you this. I don't want to be broke. I really don't. I ain't supposed to be. Not at all. But I'm going to do this process. I'm going to do this. I'm doing this because I see the bigger picture. And that's why I'm surrendering. That's why I have surrendered. It's been some hard days. I ain't gonna lie. It's been some hard days. But I do it. And I know y'all like, Nyomi, how you do it?
Had to get them king crab legs.
Boy, I be praying like I'm on a budget. There's no more king crab legs. Well, I really ain't been doing my nails anyway. I got to do them for this wedding, but you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I kind of memorize. How you say that word?
Nice.
Yeah. Things. So, budgeting, certain things, and, because I still have my little businesses going on. So I'm trying to keep everything going, but I kind of pull things back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then now I'm just listening, and I'm allowing life to, do what it do. This is my prayer every morning. I always pray, and I ask God to lessen me and increase him within me. I always say that. And what I do, and y'all probably won't believe me, I pray for everybody. Family, friends, fans, and foes. Y'all hear me when I say foe? I pray for everybody. That everybody can be healed. That everybody can experience what I have. And even when I'm at my lowest, I still have a spiritual high. When I'm telling you things that I've seen in the past few years, things that I have experienced in the past few years have been beyond amazing. When things come to me and happen, I'll be like, okay, now why did that happen? Now I take all accountability for things that I didn't do before and I'm doing now. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But then I also learned that if it's something that comes to me, okay, I sit and say, all right, let's go. Now that don't mean for somebody with some fucked up shit to come and no, we're not gonna do that. But y'all know what I'm saying. Right? Y'all know what I'm saying, right? And that was, and it was so funny because I was like, should I talk about this topic of surrendering? Because usually when you do this and you put things out there, you do open up for things for other stuff. But I guess I'm protected. So
yeah.
It don't make a difference. It don't make a difference. Not at all. Not at all. All right, so I do got the Nyomi top 5, but this is what I want to do. I want to open up the lines right now before I do the top, or should I do the top 5 first and then open up the lines?
Yeah, do them top 5s and then we open up the line.
All right, so let's do the top 5. This is Nyomi's top 5. So look, so I know you asked Nyomi, how are you doing your surrendering? How are you getting through it? How are you? I'm taking it day by day. I'm taking it day by day. And you know what? At first I thought, you know what? I might challenge, folks out there. I might come back a little later with that, with it. But listen, so number 1 is practice mindfulness and meditation to let go of negative thoughts and emotions. Did y'all get that? The top 5 ways to surrender to life to have peace. All right. Number 1, practice mindfulness and meditation to let go of negative thoughts and emotions.
Okay.
That's number 1. Number 2, accept things as they are instead of trying to control every situation. Did y'all hear me when I just said that? I'm going to repeat it again. Number 2 is accept things as they are instead of trying to control every situation. Y'all got that? Number 3, trust the universe or your higher power to guide you on this journey. So let me tell you this. I had a nice little tidbit. I believe I was talking to my sister and I was talking to my little cousin. And I was talking about when we not only do we trust the higher power or the universe or God or whatever you is, but within that's trusting and having faith in yourself. Because what we tend to forget is that we all have God in us. We all have God in us. But what we don't do is we don't trust that inner us. We don't trust us. So it's like, how about using that to have faith in us? A lot of times where these preferences come from a fear of not being accepted, a fear of failure, a fear of whatever. So our preference is this. I don't want this to happen, so I'm going to go over here. I don't want this to happen, so I'm going to do that.
Right. That's understandable.
Yeah. But then we allow that to control us, how our life is going to come out.
Because once again, we go on them experiences. We go on
Yes.
them past experiences.
Yeah. Number 4 is let go of attachments and expectations that can cause stress and anxiety. Hello. That used to be my biggest thing. Let me tell you something. I used to do this. I used to have a whole conversation in my head what I'm thinking somebody's saying about me.
You're playing both parts, huh?
Yes. Like literally, because somebody looking at me. And this is what I'm telling you. Okay, say I'm in the adult industry and they looking at me and I'm looking like, why are they looking at me? Because they think I'm such and such. Now I've already put in their head, which they probably didn't say, but I'm saying it for them. When they probably didn't even say that. And this is where I have to check myself, and I have done it several times. Where I check myself like that, they wasn't even thinking that, but I went on and went and said that because that is what I felt about myself, thinking that's what others feel about me. Mm. So then I gotta go look in the mirror, and I have to check myself. Mm. Number 5, the last one. Focus on gratitude, finding joy in the present moment instead of worrying about the future and dwelling on the past. So, this morning, well, actually, it was yesterday. Yesterday, I said, thank you for my past, and I'm away from my future, but I'm going to live today. Mm. But I'm going to live today. The problem is that we try to think so far in the future that it causes us anxiety and stress. That we can't live for today. And then we think about what all this crap that we undone and who we undone it to or who done something to us or whatever, that we can't concentrate on what happened now. So if you think about it, if you went out there and did your bomb shit today, every day I wake up this morning, I'm going hard on the day. I'm just thinking about today. Man, that's a win for me. Hmm. So guess what? I go to sleep, I get up tomorrow, and I do the same thing for that day. I ain't thinking about what happened yesterday. And I ain't thinking about what's happening tomorrow, but I'm thinking about what happened today. See, the problem, we go so far, but we talk that. Let me tell you something. I used to have a 5-year plan. Every 5 years, I have a 5-year plan. And I used to check it out. Check it. Check. Just be like, check it off. Check. Literally. Like even I got a whole vision board. I had all of that. All of that. But guess, and I'm not going to even lie. Guess what that was doing? That was stressing me the hell out. Anxiety. Because I was putting myself on a time limit. And I wasn't even doing the work that I need to do today because I was so worried about what I possibly can I have in the future. Just allowing life to happen. Believing and trusting in you and your ability of the gifts that you have. I know a lot of y'all people like, what you want me to do? Y'all want me to quit the job? You want me to do this? Do what makes you happy. And I guess the question is, do you know what your happy is? Do you know what fuels you? If I can sit here and ask y'all, I'm going to ask y'all this question. What makes you happy? What makes you happy? I'm gonna wait and see everybody answer down there. What makes you happy? Do you know what makes you happy? Clear quartz. I don't see no comments, so I don't think don't nobody know what makes them happy.
Must be a delay out there with their happiness. No, you know something? That's a question that people really got to think about. Because, like I said, a lot of people don't know. So a lot of people, even myself, have to think about that question: what truly makes you happy? You know. And I think honestly, a lot of people would say, I would say, "Ooh, making money." But you can make money, but are you making it happy?
Mm-hmm. But what does that happiness within look like for you, Brush?
Let me put this one up for you.
Mass Man, hey baby. He said, nothing makes me happy. Nothing makes you happy. Are you going on, and this is a question. This is really a question. Are you going on past experience, so why you can't be happy? Because you've had a happy moment in your life. Do you remember what that was that made you happy? You scared to be happy. And let me ask you, why are you scared to be happy? Because what? Because of fear of what?
Let me go back to Brush because he answered that for you.
Okay, Brush. With Brush answering me with what was his inner self-happiness.
Right.
He says, true happiness for me is seeing my friends and family prosper. For me personally, I take every day as a blessing because tomorrow is not promised. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. I mean, because usually when people say you find happiness within, we have to explain that, just like the word surrender. Like, what does that look like? Because some people want to know, what does that look like? People always put an adjective or something on something, but what does it really look like in real term? In real life, like, what does it look like? So thank you for that, Brush. And thank you, Mr. Mask Man, for sharing that with us. Okay, so I know y'all like, y'all to show us over. No, baby. We decided that we go 2 hours now. Can y'all deal with me for 2 hours? All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back. But I had just given you guys the five ways that you can truly surrender, to help you to surrender. All right, we'll be back. We're going to open the line. So let me put this line out there right now. You guys can give us a call at 626-605-Ask Nyomj. That's 626-605-2756. So at the break, we're going to come back and we're going to take some calls. All right, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. We'll be right back.
I have not met my match. I always think I do because I'm, oh, he cute. But when I go soulfully, a lot of men are not in tune with who they are on a deeper level. And so it's hard. I need me like a magic man here. That's why I moved to Vegas. I moved to Vegas to hope to find someone with a higher vibration and that they can live in duality. You know, they have a good side and a dark side. Because in my meditations and in some of my shamanic past life regressions, I've been shown that why I didn't have children yet, and then I have children coming. They're just waiting for the right partner.
Next, Nyomi Bridging the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationship, culture.
Hey, my sexy people, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks. And I finally did it. I've written my first book, well, actually, it's a living journal. It's called Good Morning, My Sexy People, where I share my stories in different posts, but help a healing workbook for you. So it's 90 days to kick off your healing living journey. Pre-purchase now. Go to askNyomi.com and hit shop. Listen.
All right, it's your girl, D Goddess Nyomi Banks, and welcome back to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. What's going on, Dog Pound Mike?
All good, all good.
All right, I want to say what's up to all of my BTG crew out there. I see you all out there talking. I see you talking out there. Today's topic, we were talking about the experiment of surrender. And I shared with all of you in my audience, as well as my podcast audience that will be listening later, is that I am doing I'm surrendering. I have surrendered. It ain't that I'm surrendering. I have surrendered, and it's more of a day-to-day thing for me because it's very experiments. It's the experience that I'm going to have my own. But what's kicked this off is I had read a book called The Surrender Experience by Michael A. Singer. And the book is phenomenal. It truly kicked off something really with me. It was great. I've been listening to a lot of audibles, more deeply, spiritually. Have to do with abundance, have to do with just all the whole in thing within here and here. Because this right here, this mind, oh man. That's as they say, that's the devil's playground. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. And devil come in all forms. They come from everywhere. They come from church. They come from the law offices. They come from the doctor's office. They come in all different forms. What they call it? Wolves in sheep clothing. Mm-hmm. They come in all forms. So I needed something to help me to really get me through this spiritual awakening that I'm having, to make it make sense to me. And when I tell you it makes so much sense, it really does. It really, really does. It really does. All right, so we did open up the phone lines. Again, I'm going to put that number out there again. It is 626-605 Ask Nyomi. That's 626-605-2756. All right, we got some callers, right?
Yes, we do. Let's take this call.
All right. Hello?
How you doing, Miss Nyomi?
Hey.
Mr. Mask Man.
Hey, Mr. Mask Man, how are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well. First of all, I love to hear that you're doing wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just say every day is a wonderful day.
Yes, it is.
I have this old Jewish man that I know. I haven't seen him in a little while, so I hope he's still doing all right. Mm-hmm. But every time I walk up on him and ask him how he's doing, he just tells me, "Oh, it's just another day in paradise." So I say that to people. I just say, well, just another day in paradise.
Okay. Can I say this? Because I talked to you before. I know we've talked before. Mm. And can I say your voice sounds so easy and pleasant today?
Oh, yeah.
It does.
Well, I thank you. Well, you was asking about happiness.
Yes.
And you asked me, like, why I'm not happy. And I'm scared. I think I'm scared to be happy because I feel like God may be punking me. And if I get too happy, he's going to drop the hammer down and show me that this is really hell and it's really not good.
No, baby. No, you know what? Can I be honest? And I want to be real honest with you. You know what? I used to think that way too. And let me tell you what, I used to think that there's a train that's coming. When something's so good happening for me, I'd be like, okay, where that train at? So I couldn't enjoy the moment right here because I was constantly looking for that train. You understand? Mm-hmm. The thing is, the mind is so powerful and our energy is so powerful. So sometimes we even can bring things to us. You know what I mean? So when you have that mindset like that, and you always looking for that negative or something that's coming, then that's what's going to come. because that's what you're asking
Yeah.
for. That's what the attentions that you put out there, not knowing that you're putting that attentions out there. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm. Yeah. And I don't want this to be. I want this to be paradise.
Right.
I want this to be. It's just difficult. It's just difficult for me to let go because my daddy wasn't any kind of an abuser or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
but he was just a very, very difficult man to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew him for like 26 years, and he was always hard up until the end,
Mm-hmm.
up until when he was dying. Then he finally got kind of soft when he was dying, but he was hard, and it affected me.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's the reason I'm bipolar or classified as bipolar today, because of all that shit I went through with him.
Right. Right. So let me say this to you, and I don't know if it's been said to you before, but this is something that I've learned through my own healing, is that, and I'm not giving no excuses for his actions at all, but honestly, he
Mm-hmm.
did not know any better, because that's something that he was
Yeah.
taught. You understand what I'm saying? And this is going to
Yeah.
be hard.
Yeah,
And this is going to be hard to go ahead, baby.
Yeah, my father was 41 years older than me the day I was born. He was like born in 1948.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes from that time period
Mm-hmm.
where it was hard to be black.
Right.
Yeah, he grew up in Marshall, Texas.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you know it. Yeah. So I know he had a difficult time. I say this to people. It's like when I met my grandfather, when I met him, I was like, oh, he cool, but Daddy isn't the same man around our grandfather that he is around everybody else.
Mm.
My grandfather, he had to be a different man. My daddy knew a different man than the man that I met.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you know what, when people get older, and you start to learn things. You start to see things, you start to experience things, and you start to see things in a different perspective. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
What I've learned through my
Mm-hmm.
healing is what I wanted to tell you, is that I cannot take you, and I know when I say this, it'll be like, how can you tell me not to take it personal? Because really what he was going through, it wasn't about you. It ain't.
Yeah.
When someone does something, it ain't about you. It's really about them. And I know that's so hard because it's happening to you. It's happening to me. They did this shit to me. And it's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but not really.
I know he couldn't help.
No.
I'm not mad at my dad today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't like him. I don't love him, but it's like, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I'm not tripping off of him. He's dead.
Mm-hmm.
What I look like tripping off of the dead?
Right. But this is how you tripping off of it, because you allowing it to affect you today, or the way that you move. You understand? Or the way that you think. You understand what I'm saying? So even in that process, that's where you have to heal. You know what I'm saying? So let me tell you what I did and I do once a month now, but I started about 2 months ago. I do what I call a mirror image healing, that I have a picture of myself when I was 2 years old. And I talk to that little girl. Because that is who shows up for us every day when we are going through these things to protect us. You understand what I'm saying? On how we react to things. That's that little person, that little child in us. And I sit there with that. I sat there for like a good 30, 45 minutes talking to each session that I do with her, speaking to her and thanking her for, protecting me in all this time, and asking for forgiveness for some of the choices that I made in life. You understand what I'm saying? Or, thank you for this, or allow me for that. And people might say you crazy for that. Go ahead.
You say you talk to a version of yourself that's 2 years old?
Yes. That is that healing within.
Okay.
Because it shows up every day.
Yeah.
It shows up every day.
I believe you.
Like it just showed up when you talking to me. That little boy showed up right here talking to me. That your daddy was so hard with it showed up talking to me right here.
Yeah. I think I like to say he made me what I am.
Yeah.
He made me who I am. And hello?
I'm here.
Yeah, I like to say he made me what I am. It's like I made me too, but if it wouldn't have been, if he wasn't exactly the way that he was, I wouldn't be who I am.
And who are
he
you?
had to be who he was.
Right. And who are you? What's your definition?
Who I really am, the masked man. I mean, my name is Edward. My legal name is Edward, but I really am the masked man. And I think you may have gotten it confused. I see what you wrote me in your autograph, and I appreciate you sending it out to me. You said take the mask off.
Right, because I thought it was masked man.
That's not what it means. The mask is already off. It's always been off. But the people in my life treat me like they can't see me. The mask has always been off. I've always been open. I've always been here, looking, waiting for somebody to say something to me. It just never happens. I mean, it just so happened recently where I met this white girl that I talked to. She's 40 years old. She's going through a divorce. She's having a lot. She's diagnosed with the same thing as I'm diagnosed with, bipolar. And you know, I love this woman. I love that God put this woman in my life. And I met her when I was speeding down the highway, going 100 miles an hour, trying to turn to get gas, wrecking my car and shit, doing crazy shit. I got into the hospital and I met her in the hospital. There was no other way I could have met her but that way. So God is like ordering my steps. God is like making shit happen for me no matter what I do. He's making shit happen. And it's going to take some time for things to all come together because my sister's putting me out. Now, my sister's been taking care of me. Now she's putting me out. And I got to figure out how to get a place, how to do all this thing. I've been taking care of my family my whole life. And now I got to figure out how to live somewhere, how to pay rent and all this shit. I don't know nothing about that. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm not asking you for a handout. I love what you've done. You've done more than enough for a lifetime already. You've already done it. I'm not asking you for nothing.
There's no programs or any
Well, there's stuff like Section 8. I'm trying to get on Section 8 and stuff like that. I'm trying to work on that. I got to get my documents. I don't have any money. I'm in the overdraft already again. I'm overdrafting money and stuff like that, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna be all right. Huh?
No, because I was thinking that it's because you stay in Louisiana, right?
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
in there, and usually they kind of have like programs to, because if you bipolar, you get Social Security check. Am I correct? I'm not trying to be in your business, but you get that, and so for
I get a disability check.
Right.
I get a disability check and I get a little bit of food stamps. $128.
Okay, and so for that, they don't have any other type of housings for I guess bipolar is kind of like mental illness, right? So if your sister was taking care of you, she was more of the one that would sign your checks, or were you able to get your own checks?
I was able to get my own. When I say that she was taking care of me, I meant that she paid the rent. She didn't do anything to take care of me. I take care of myself.
Right. No. I understand that.
Yeah.
No, I understand that.
But like she just paid. I say that she takes care of me to make it sound better, but she paid the rent, so I didn't have to because I couldn't pay the rent. The rent here is like $800. I make $900.
Okay.
So I couldn't pay rent and electricity and food. I couldn't do that.
Right.
And I wasn't always getting 900. It used to be 800 and something. It went up with the cost of living.
Right. So is anything like any side jobs that you do? Like I thought I heard you say about working on cars or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like getting a nice little legal hustle.
Yeah, I need to come up with something. I need to come up with something that'll pay me cash. That it won't affect my check, because the last thing I want to do is, because it's like, you hear how I talk.
Yeah.
Like, I talk this way to everybody. Everybody. Even if I'm scared of you, I'm still talking the same.
Right.
So a lot of people in my space, they have problems with my tone. They have problems with the way that I speak. And if I get to talking to somebody who is over me at a job, it can be a problem. It can just be a problem.
You know, yeah, we're gonna have to have some more conversations, Mr. Mass Man. Because we got some more people on the line. But let me say this. I thank you. I thank you for sharing with me. And you not only sharing with me, but you sharing with a whole bunch of folks out here too. You really are.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are very inspirational and encouraging to a lot of people, because people, they hear you, and people praying for you too. Know that he ain't leaving you just out there like that. And I'm glad that you did meet that woman, and I pray that y'all can truly do something together. But I ain't going nowhere. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm back. I had to take a break, but I'm back. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I missed your last OnlyFans. I tried to get, I was asleep while you did it. I missed it.
Right, that's all right, baby.
I missed it.
You can see me right here every Thursday. I have my clothes on, but you see me every Thursday here.
Everything, and if you have a call in segment, I'll call in. I may not always be on topic, but I appreciate that you have this forum where you open yourself up and you're transparent. You talk about having panic attacks. I never knew that you had panic attacks.
Oh yeah.
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 So you can be that open and honest with your audience. Like, that's kind of why I love you. You know, I don't mean to get too mushy and whatnot, but that's why I love you, because that's what you've always done. You've always put on. I don't know how to say it, but you've always been there for people in one way or another.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that. And I'm about to send you off with love, light, and prayers, because we got to keep going, right? Okay. But thank you again, baby.
All right.
I'm praying for you.
I'll call in next week.
All right. Sure thing.
All right. I appreciate that.
All right.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right. It's your girl, D Goddess Nyomi Banks, here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. Again, thank you, Mass Man, for sharing that with us right here. And you got a lot of people. Miss Deborah Booker said, keep trusting in the Lord. Like he said, he's ordering your steps to do it. And Brush said, this is some powerful stuff, Mr. Mask Man. I hope that even just being able to share some of this stuff and getting it off your chest helps your healing. As I truly thank you. Really. All right, we're gonna take another call.
Yes, we got Rock Hard on the stream.
Okay. What's going on, Rock Hard?
Yo, what's happening? How you?
I'm good. What's going on, baby?
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I saw your topic was about surrendering.
Yes.
Okay, cause I just got done kicking it with the family, so I ain't really get to see it all the show. So, but based off surrender, let me ask you. I don't know if you went over this or not, but how do you feel about the older generation surrendering to a younger generation?
The older generation surrendering to a younger generation?
I don't know if I'm saying it right. Let me give an example.
Yeah, please do.
Just like Thanksgiving, you go to grandma's house and, the young ladies, they'll be cooking, and grandma, she coming there like, no, baby, you gotta do this. No, you got no. And then she end up taking over. It's like, grandma, you gonna chill? You don't want to relax? Like, So that's what I mean by that. Like the OGs don't want to pass the torch. Like, how do you feel about that?
I
Like, do
feel
you
like
feel like
she better learn how. She better know how to cook. You don't get in that kitchen and you don't know how to cook. Don't mess up Thanksgiving dinner.
I shouldn't have said Thanksgiving. I'm just saying, like, it could be regular, like a Tuesday dinner, something simple as that. Though it's like, and it's like, nah, you do it like this, nah. And then she ended up taking over. Like, you know what, Graham, go ahead.
Okay, so this is a different type of surrendering right here, right now. You know what I feel, for me, because I'm a little older. I'm a little older. And I would love for my daughters to come in and if they can cook. Just don't be in the way. If they can cook, man, yeah. Go ahead and do it. Take it. I have no problem with that. But you have to be, especially the older grandmothers when they got certain ways and certain things that they want to do certain things. And that's just what it is. Some of them like to stay busy. You know what I'm saying? So share that space with them until it's time for them to pass the torch because they're going to. They ain't
Okay,
gonna have no choice but to do that.
can I kind of get deep with it now? Or can I get a little deeper?
Okay, how deep? Yeah, go deep with it, Rod.
I'm gonna get a little personal with it, man. So I can
Okay.
like really, I have a great grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Like she lives on her own. She's in her 80s, and I'm not gonna hold you. Like my grandma, she living in the hood, and everybody be trying to tell my grandma like, "You want to come live with me? Like you could live with us." My grandma like, "No, no, no. I got it. I got my own." Like grandma, like you in the hood. People is getting shot on the regular. Don't you want to like move from that? Like let us take care of you. Like no, I got it. I'm good.
You know what? From that perspective, and I can say that because my mom, when my mom retired, I moved her down here with me,
Mm-hmm.
and for her, and this is really them being strong women, strong Black women that have their own. It's hard to come and live in someone else's home, regardless if you say this is your home too. It's still that takes away part of their identity. You understand what I'm saying? And so for your grandmother to be there on her own like that, they give her independence. That's actually helping her live longer. Because once she is to go, come move with somebody else, y'all gonna be all over her, pawning on over her, and she don't want that. She want to do what she want to do. She don't want no young body telling her what to do. You know what I'm saying? If I had to leave my house to come to y'all house, so now y'all telling me what to do, and I can't do what I want to do. I can't have my quiet time when I want to because y'all got some kids over here or some friends over here or whatever. And I know you want her to be safe.
That is like that's the main thing. Like grandmama, like come on, like ain't we supposed to take care of the OGs? Like you took care of us, so let it. Hmm?
But some of them don't want it. I mean, it's other ways that you can show them with it, but moving them, I understand what you're saying, but I'm giving you the reason why she don't want to, because it would take away her independence.
That made total sense. I get it. And once you said it, I always just that's just a thought I always had. Like the OG surrendering to the youngins. Like let us take care of y'all. Like y'all did enough for us. Like you raised us. You the reason.
Oh, I got one over here, baby. I understand it totally. I
Like let us
understand it totally.
let us take care of you.
Actually, we got a little feedback on this question here. We got Drayson that said, "I don't think the older generation should surrender to the younger generation."
Mm.
No. Mm-mm. Like I said, it's like when it's time, they will pass the torch. And I think Deborah said, pass the torch. When it's time, they will pass the torch.
But the boy also said,
They ain't ready. I
"They ain't
saw
ready."
that.
They ain't ready to.
Yeah, I saw that.
But in some situations they may be ready. It's all according to the individuals. You think?
It is, but I'm telling you, man, come on now. Like seriously, we're talking about older women that have they done their work. They ain't trying to be up under nobody younger than them, trying to tell them what to do. When they have lived their life, they just don't. And it's hard. It's hard. I know you want the best because that's the same as how I am. I want the best for my. I want to give my mama the world, everything. And she's like, I got this. I'm gonna do this on my own. And that's just how it is. So if somebody can go over there every day and make sure grandma good, do that.
I mean, that's pretty much what we do. Like somebody go over there, like, yeah, like what's good with grandma?
That's
like
it.
somebody
You do that, you take her independence. That's that man. That's her identity.
that makes you making perfect sense. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but I get it.
I hear you, Rock High.
All right, thank you, baby. You always calling in with some of these questions here, but thank you again. Thank you again. We're gonna take a call. All right. Yeah.
Just one
Thank
more.
you, Rock.
I'll say
All
one
right.
more question.
No more questions, Rock. Bye. You get so greedy.
Nah.
All right, it's your girl D Goddess, Nyomi Banks here. You know, Rock Hard be so greedy. Come, can I get 2 questions, maybe 4? Can I get 5? Wait, one more.
Like
one more. What'd you say?
Like he bid for.
Like he bid for.
Auction.
Right. All right, let's take this call. Hello.
Hello there, my beloved and beautiful Nyomi Banks. Welcome back.
Thank you, Joseph. How are you?
I'm fine. You've been gone a long time. I missed you, just like I still miss my beloved and beautiful India Morel. I hope that doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. It's just you're both my favorite beautiful ladies. I enjoy listening to you.
Oh, no, I love me some India. Read some chocolate beauties. I understand.
Both.
Yeah.
You're both my surrender, experimental surrender.
But did you understand what I meant by that? By the surrender experiment?
You both make me happy listening to you.
Okay.
Basically, cheers.
Okay.
Enjoy, like I said, I still enjoy listening to the guests you had on in past.
Right. Okay. Well, you're gonna love next week guests. You're gonna love our next week guests. All right. Well, thank you for calling in, Joseph. All right.
You're welcome.
All right. You have a good night, baby. All right. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right, it's your girl D Goddess Nyomi Banks here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything: love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. All right, the phone lines are open, and we also taking phone calls. Not on my phone, really. Really, like not on my real phone. Yeah. But I want to shout out to all of my BTG crew. I see you, T Brown, Charmaine. We got Drayson in the house, a new one. Shabazz, no, I'm no longer working in adult films. It's been over about 10 years now. Deborah, Penta, how you doing? Brush, thank you so much for, with your comments. I see Miss Monique in the house. I see Telly 26. Mr. Massman, Mark, how you doing, baby? Dazelle, thank you for that nice little ring tip. Andrew, thank you, baby. I see you all. I thought I saw a Big Bro there. Actually, it's Big Bro birthday. Super Lover birthday is coming up on the 6th on Saturday. And so is yours. Yours coming up on Monday. Hey, I got a lot of Taurus brothers around me. All of my boys. And then I got my boy Dave. His birthday is next Thursday, I believe. So I got a lot of Taurus people around me. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in and coming out. But we're gonna come back. What we're gonna do is I just want to talk a little bit more. We talk a little bit more. We take a break because I said we're making these shows 2 hours now, right? And remember, the phone lines are open. The phone lines are open. We're going to take a break. It's your girl, D Goddess Nyomi Banks here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast.
Here, I'm going to do this. And then I was carrying my camera around. Like, people were telling me no. And then the thing that I came up with was, like, I'm going to try to figure out, like, how people cannot say no. Like, when I ask them, I have to create a reason for them to say yes. And that was just basically my motivation. So what I did was just like, I just humbled myself.
Up Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more.
All right, it's your girl, D Goddess Nyomi Banks here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. Whoa, he be coming and sneaking up on us. On it. All right, so the phone lines are not open anymore. Did you say they're not open anymore? They back up?
They were never down. They up.
I am so glad that I'm able to edit this at the end of the day. For real. All right, the phone lines are open. Give us a call at 626-605-2656. That's 626-605-2656. And we were talking about surrendering today. And I shared with everyone on here on the surrender experience. I got it from the book. The book is called The Surrender Experiment from Michael A. Singer. As I said before, it's a phenomenal book. And it actually kind of helped me on my journey on what I've been doing for the past 3 weeks. And it's been some very trying times. So let me tell you about this one incident that I had, that I knew that it was time for me to kind of like step back and allow things to happen. So I was doing my garden in the back. And I had been sick for like the past few days before that. And I really couldn't get out the bed. I had a really bad migraines and stuff like that. And so I really couldn't get out the bed, but I knew I really needed to get out there in that garden and do that garden. So I had this big boulder probably about 200-300 pounds. I probably exaggerate a little bit. I think it's about that much. So anyway, I called my baby boo to see where he was at, to see if he was on his way back to help me move the thing, because I'm out there early and I want to hurry up and get before my energy goes, right? So he says, no, I'm at the store, but I'm on my way back. I'll be on my way back, so I'll move it when I get back, right? So me, I ain't waiting. Guess what that is? That's my preference. I don't want to wait. I want to go ahead and move, to move the thing, right? So I go to move it. But in the process of me moving it, I'm hyping myself up because I said, oh, I didn't need him anyway. I can move it myself, right? Right? I can move it myself. So I'm hyping. I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, I got this. I moved it. So I'm hyper now because not only was I, a little weak and tired, but I was able to move something on my own that kind of gave me a little energy, right? I was like, all right. So I kind of, I ain't going to get into no little fizzy. I'm good. I'm seeing that this is what probably needed to happen, that I need to, move this myself and not wait for him to move it, do something myself and not wait for him to move it. So this is part of the experiment that I'm going through, right? The surrendering experiment, right? All right. So he comes out, he see the thing, he said, what you need? I said, oh, nothing. I didn't, because I already moved the boulder. All right. So, but he's so used to me copping an attitude when things don't go my way. And I'm just going to be honest. That's how it was. I didn't like waiting. If I say I wanted something, then I wanted, if you don't go get it, then I go get it myself. That's how I was. And that's what he was used to. So he already came out with some energy. Mind you, remember I said that I can feel energy. So I felt his energy when he came out the first time, and I, like, no, I got it, whatever. He left and went out. So then I wanted to dig this other hole to put this other tree, it was a rose tree or something, other tree there. And so the ground, we're in a desert, so the ground is kind of hard. And so I needed a man. To come and dig it for me. So I called on the phone for him to come dig. So there was no answer. So real quick, it came real quick. It was like, and then I moved it out my head. I was like, no, you can do it yourself. You just saw that you was able to move that boulder. So you can go dig this hole yourself. Go get that water hose, soften the ground, and dig up that hole yourself, right? So again, I'm digging up, I'm digging a hole. I think he come out about good 10, 15 minutes later. And I think he saw my missed call. So he comes out and he got it. You can feel the energy coming, coming towards. And this time my ass fell for it. Like I went in, like as the energy was coming to me, I just went on and fed into the energy. Not blaming it on him because it was still me. It was still up to me to react a certain way. And I ain't gonna say the food, but I went to the,
Went to the other level.
Yeah, I went to a level. I didn't go to the other level, but I went a level. But then in the process of going to that level, that's when I realized, like, oh, that's what they talking about. Oh, that's what that surrendering is really is. It's that reaction to you not getting the preference. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That was a little test for you that morning.
Yeah, that was a test. So even though I felt that I had failed the test, I actually passed the test somewhat. I passed it with like a C.
That's fast.
I passed it with a C because I realized that, okay, you ain't even have to do that. You ain't have to, because it was already done. So by you telling him that was what? What did it do? By you telling him that he wasn't there to pick up the call to come do whatever, what did that do? Nothing. That ain't do nothing but just put another, inch. Like, it's crazy.
Can I ask you a question though?
What?
Why did you call him to move the boat or other show or something? Because when you said that you'll need a man, I see you flex that little bicep because you've been working out.
Oh yeah, I've been working out. Yeah.
You don't need no man to move no rocks no more. You gonna flex the muscle when you say I don't need that man.
But it was just funny that I literally saw that surrendering experiment in real time, meaning that I understood as it was happening. And I don't know if y'all were ever in a moment where y'all standing there and you literally standing there battling yourself. Literally, and I know, no, because I ain't crazy. Because I know y'all have done that. That y'all sitting there and you like, no, you should do that. Don't do that, girl. Yeah, you should. Now, don't. If you do this, then yeah. Like literally going back and forth. Like, girl, don't you do that.
Most of us do it every day. I guess we never really realized what it was.
Yeah.
That's.
And I guess maybe that's it. Maybe that's now realizing exactly what that is.
Because sometimes I bet on myself, but I don't know if it's right or wrong because I'm battling myself. So to me, whatever happens is going to be right because I was battling myself. So how can you lose?
Oh, you can lose.
Yeah. Then again, how can you win?
We are not about to do this. This ain't no who on first and what on second.
That's just the way I. That's
right.
I
got you.
Though,
I
right.
got you. I got you. What'd you say, Deborah? Not giving the reaction that he was expecting when he came out the first time, but he was looking for it, so you gave it to him. That's a good way, and I ain't even gonna lie. I was, because when he came out the second time, and I'm like, okay, let me give it. But then in the process of me giving to, I was like, oh, you know what? Let me take that back. And I said, let me take that back. I apologize. And you know what he said? Do you know what he said? He was like, no, don't apologize.
Maybe he was just a part of your surrender experiment.
And then in my mind, I ain't say it out loud, but in my mind, like, how the hell he gonna take back my go give me back my apology? But this is the battle that I had within me. Like, how he gonna give me back my apology? Like,
you was on one.
But I was able to get through that. And even I even set him down to where we had a great conversation to where he understood exactly what was happening, exactly what was going on, and little do he know, he's going through the surrender experiment as well. Just in like second form, what do we call it? Like You know, with the secondhand smoke, just like secondhand smoke.
Like the weed contact you get from being around people smoking weed, you get that contact.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but when I say that it is, I don't want to say hard. What I say is an amazing challenge. That is what I say. I say it's an amazing challenge. And when I do get through those challenges and I come out on top, I celebrate. When I say I celebrate, I pray. I get the dancing. I be like, "You go, girl. You get that, girl." Like you have to. You have to keep affirming to yourself, affirming yourself. You have to keep validating yourself and not look outside anymore. And I believe that's what I've been doing. Like when I say about the mirror, man, I'm telling you, I'm working on something right now. I had this amazing experience this morning with the mirrors. I'm gonna just keep it right here because as he told me, keep it right here. And when it comes, man, it's go, ooh, I can't wait. Because it's so like, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna leave it like that. But as I continue with this surrender experience, I'm gonna, come in here and there, in on it on some of the shows and talk about it. And if anybody want to join me on this experience, please hit me up in my DMs or email me. And and maybe I can like send you a little, something here and there, some little notes or something like that to help you through it. You all are more than welcome. You all are more than welcome to come along with me on this journey. Like I said, it's an amazing challenge. It's an amazing challenge, but when I've finished reading that book, listening to that book on Audible, and found what the trueness was, and it's about us truly being here to serve one another. That's what we've been put on this earth to do. And just knowing that just in this conversation alone, just even a conversation that I had with Max Man and whoever else, that helps fuel my soul. That's a part of my happiness. That's what makes me happy. And as long as I can be authentically me, like being right here on this platform and all my rawness, all of this makes me happy. This makes me happy. You got something to say? I see you over there with your finger, dog. I'm Mike.
Write some notes.
You write notes? Are you doing homework? He doing homework over there. That's what I'm talking about. Anybody else doing homework over there? All right, Spider Moose. Hey, welcome back, Spider Moose. Surrender to Nyomi. Yes, that has been a part of my that's definitely been there. That's definitely been there. All right, y'all. So again, thank you guys for tuning in every week here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. We are back. We are back, and we have some phenomenal guests this month. Next week, she's probably one of my favorite people. BDSM pro dominatrix. She's a wrestler. She's a man. She got so many things going on. Miss Madame, I call her Madame Kelly Provocateur will be in the building, right here in the building, talking all about her kinks, her BDS, her businesses, everything that she's got going on, and she might show y'all a thing or two right here, right now. If anybody want to go over there to the to the kink side, come over there on the dominatrix side. She might can show you a little thing or two. So she'll be here next week. I have, and I'm hopefully she confirmed, a soft confirmed. So I'm hopefully that I can get her in on the 25th. She's another legend that has truly been doing a lot of healing and a lot of work. She got a book that's coming out really, really soon. I don't want to give out her name just yet. I have to make sure when she's sending all her stuff that I got her locked in first.
Right.
That I got her locked in first. But yeah, she's supposed to be coming in on the 25th. Of that, and then we got some folks coming next month too. So just know that here we just growing. We growing. As Miss Vanessa said, we're always healing. Serving one another, learning from one another, bridging the gap. As I always say, always keep it sexy. Be good to one another in yourselves. Peace, love, and prayers to you all.
Hey, it's the goddess Nyomi Banks, and I hope you enjoyed that last episode of Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. And if you did, please like, subscribe, press that notification button, as well as comment. I'll see you next week. Keep it sexy.
Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more.